I moved into a new apartment and started hearing strange noises coming from the walls. I'll never forget the day I moved into apartment 2B. As I lugged box after box up the narrow staircase, I couldn't believe my luck in finding such a nice place in the city for so cheap. Sure, the dated floral wallpaper was peeling a bit and the plumbing made some questionable noises, but with some elbow grease I knew I could make this little studio feel like home. After hours of unpacking, I finally plopped down on my lumpy thrift store couch and cracked open a beer, excited to celebrate my first night in my new digs. That's when I first heard it, a faint scratching sound coming from inside the walls. At first I figured it was just the old radiator pipes settling or something, but the scrabbling noises persisted. Maybe mice? I thought. Having grown up in the country, I was no stranger to the scuttling of rodent feet. But this didn't have that quick, skittering quality. It was more of a slow, deliberate scraping, like something was methodically raking its claws across the drywall. I pressed my ear against the wall and listened closer. The scratching stopped, followed by a series of dull thuds that seemed to move up and down within the walls. Thump! 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 Almost as if something was crawling inside the narrow space. A chill went down my spine. Just then my friend Aaron called, snapping me out of my unease. "Hey dude! How's the new place?" he asked cheerfully. I laughed and made some joke about hearing rats in the walls already. Aaron just chuckled. "Old buildings make weird noises. You're probably just freaking yourself out," he said. I agreed and quickly changed the subject, pushing the incident out of my mind. Over the next few weeks I settled into a comfortable routine. I'd cook dinner in my cozy little kitchenette, watch Netflix on the couch until my eyes grew heavy, then retire to the bedroom where I'd read before dozing off. Everything was perfectly normal until I awoke one night to the sound of breathing. Slow, wheezing breaths seemingly right next to my head. I bolted upright, fumbling to turn on the lamp on my nightstand. The yellow light illuminated the empty bedroom. The breathing had stopped. I checked under the bed and in the closet. Nothing there. I tried to convince myself I had just imagined it, but I didn't sleep well the rest of the night. I decided to talk to the building manager about it in the morning. She reassured me that these old units often made odd noises as they settled. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that this was something more sinister. That evening I invited my friend Jen over for dinner, hoping the company would help calm my nerves. We were washing dishes in the kitchen when I saw it. A dark shadow darted across the living room, moving fast, scurrying behind the couch. "Did you see that?" I cried out. Jen gave me a strange look. "See what?" I quickly searched around the couch and across the room. Nothing. Jen crossed her arms and frowned. "Okay, seriously, what's going on with you? You're acting really weird." I sank down on the couch, head in hands. "I'm sorry, I keep hearing and seeing strange things here," I mumbled. "I think there might be something living in the walls." Jen sat down and put a hand on my shoulder. "Sweetie, there's nothing in the walls. You just moved into a new place. It's normal to get a little spooked." I glanced at her doubtful face and realized she was right. I was probably just scaring myself over nothing. The next morning I resolved to stop letting this place get to me. It was just an old building with some creaks and groans. Nothing to be afraid of. After a hot shower, I noticed the bathroom mirror was all fogged up despite the fan being on. As I reached for my towel I saw it. A name, eerily traced through the condensation, Samuel. I stumbled back with a gasp, slipping on the damp linoleum. By the time I composed myself, the name had evaporated. Heart racing, I quickly dressed and left for work. Maybe someone was just playing a prank on me. Yeah, that had to be it. Some bored neighborhood kid messing around. But deep down, I knew that wasn't it. Whatever was in this place, it knew my name. That night I stopped by the corner store to pick up some snacks. As I was paying, the cashier gave me an odd look. "Doing some renovations?" he asked casually. I shook my head, confused. "No." "Why do you ask?" "Oh, just curious about those claw marks." "Looks like something really shredded up your back," he replied. My blood ran cold. I rushed to the restroom to check, but saw nothing there. Trembling, I grabbed my bag and hurried out. The noises continued over the next few weeks. I'd hear the scratching in the walls, the slow dragging footsteps across the ceiling. Sometimes even weird muttering voices late at night. Dark shapes still darted through the apartment in my periphery, but always vanished when I turned. Friends started expressing concern about my appearance: dark circles under my eyes, hair unwashed, nails bitten to the quick. But I just couldn't bring myself to care anymore. I knew no one would believe me about the things I was experiencing. I started spending more and more time out of the apartment, wandering the city streets or sitting in late-night cafes just for a change of scenery. Anything to avoid that place and the unrelenting torment of its mysterious occupant. But I had to go back eventually. Tonight as I lie here in bed, the noise is worse than ever. The disembodied breathing comes fast and ragged from inside the closet. The walls groan and buckle violently around me. I pull the covers over my head and squeeze my eyes shut, praying for morning light. Wondering how much more I can take of this living nightmare. What malicious force lies in wait within these walls, and what it wants from me. My sanity is wearing thin. I fear I'm running out of time before I'm forced to confront the sinister presence in apartment 2B. But I know that whatever happens, there will be no going back. Not for me. Not anymore.